Good Monday evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Safety Stop. JoJo, what is going on?
Oh, another Monday night. How you doing?
Oh,
Heard you just got back from a long trip.
oh yeah, definitely. Of course, we weren't on last week, last Monday night, because let me tell you, driving from here to Orlando, 12 hours, I was tired. We did make it into Orlando before showtime, but after that drive, it was just like I had literally been up since 3 a.m. So, it was definitely a long day.
I'm glad you got back safe and had a fun trip down there.
Oh yeah, nothing better than going to DEMA. So let me give a little explanation. DEMA is the Dive Equipment Marketing Association. I'm sorry to say Retailers Association, but Dive Equipment Marketing Association, and it's where all the new toys come out. And of course, it is a dive industry show, so dive professionals, dive shops. Got our eyes on some pretty cool stuff that's coming out for 2026. Yeah, so yeah, it was a good time. It really was.
Yeah, I even got a nice little snippet of the restaurant you stopped at on the way back. So,
Oh.
a little jealous.
So yeah, so there's no you can't go to Cave Country or a little further south like Orlando without stopping in Valdosta. I mean, that's kind of a you got to stop one way or the other. So like what, JoJo, this one's for you. Took a picture of the menu, sent it to him.
Oh, what was that? Crab Cafe or something? It's like a little biker bar. It's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's Bubba Jack's Crab
Oh, yeah.
Shack. Yeah,
Yeah, we
dude.
stopped vacation when we went through there. It's like, yeah, we got to stop here and get food.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And now it is a staple. Anytime we go to Florida, whether it's DEMA or Dive Trip, that's kind of like our place. That's where we go. We got to stop. If not, we're missing a golden opportunity for some awesome mom and pop seafood. I mean, it's great.
Oh, yeah. Nice little, let's say, nice little quiet shack, pretty much. You wouldn't even know it was there. You drive right past it.
Oh yeah, it's a mile from the interstate, and you do. I mean, if you don't know it's there, there's a couple of signs on I-75 for it. But again, it's one of those things. If you don't really know about it, you'll miss it. Hole in the wall, okay,
Yeah.
maybe, but you know, again, another successful DEMA in the books. Um, you know, got to do my ocean reef service technician refresher or renewal, whatever you want to call it, which took the first day of DEMA. So I didn't get a lot of time on out, exploring the floor like Emily and Stephanie did. But I did get out like at 4:30, and the show floor closed at 6. So I was able to go around and see where my meetings were for Wednesday. So that was a plus. Nothing like showing up in the at the show not knowing where you're going.
Yeah, those classes take all day. I think I spent 2 whole days when we went to New Orleans for
Hmm.
some classes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the cool thing about DEMA. With our industry being so small, that it's really hard to get some of the education, some of the the core stuff that a lot of dive professionals need without having to travel all throughout the year trying to get a little bit here, a little bit there. DEMA offers that opportunity, and it's a great chance not only to get those courses, but you also get to interact with. I mean, I've seen several of the dive shops there down there, representatives that come to the park, and so it's it was great catching up with some of them outside of normal business, and chit chatting, and It's a great time. It really is.
Awesome. I know I had a great time. I wanted to go this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't plan on going back again next year because again, it's in New Orleans,
It
and
is.
that's a
Yes,
blast.
it is. Oh yeah, most
uh,
definitely. Yeah, and
but,
that's the cool thing, because with the rise of social media, you see a lot of more influencers that's in the dive industry. I mean, you run into them there. What was it? I believe it was 2 years ago. You and we were in New Orleans and had the guy stop and said, "Hey, I watch Monday Night Safety Stops." Like,
yeah,
awesome, like it's okay. Thank you. But it is. It's you see a lot of people. Gus and Woody were there from Dive Talk. What Kenny? I can't think of his last name. Where's the red sock hat? I can't think of his last name. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, JoJo's got that look like, I don't know.
lost at the moment.
Huh?
I said I'm lost at the moment.
Doll. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Emily. So it is a Monday, let me tell you. Yeah, Emily just piped in. So you see a lot of people there that it's not just you know industry leaders and professionals. It's the dive industry. So also a lot of cool toys coming out. Did you see the thing from Shearwater uh, just
I
before
believe
Dema?
so. GPS transmitter.
Yes. So that
I
was
give
that.
it to Shearwater for keeping up with Garmin on that one. That is an awesome upgrade.
Well, and it's really cool, and I'll explain that here in just a second. Oh, Emily said I traded stickers with Kenny. Okay, so all right, he's got one of our stickers. Awesome. So, but anyway, yeah, it is really a cool feature. I didn't understand it until I actually had my meeting with Shearwater, and the concept is really awesome. Which even with Garmin, or I say even with Garmin, from what I know, I could be wrong. If somebody else knows more about Garmin's than me, please pipe in here and let me know. But the GPS doesn't work like underwater. So once you descend, I think you lose signal, if I'm not mistaken. I know the Shearwater one, it does. Basically, what the GPS is doing with Shearwater, it's letting you know where exactly you descended and where exactly you ascend. So, it provides that positioning. And
Get back to where you started.
yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, if your navigation skills are good and you want to have a navigating contest, then try to come back up where you started. How hard is that going to be? No, let's say shore diving in Bonaire. Can you come up exactly where you descended? That's the key. Without an aid, without putting an
Without,
upline.
without something there, a marker in the sand or something that you got to get
Exactly.
back to. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That is
exactly.
upline that.
But yeah, I mean, the concept of this is awesome too. I mean, I applaud Shearwater for their thinking. Put it on the transmitter. That way, you don't have to buy a new computer. You buy a new transmitter. I think it's like $500. They're coming out. They're starting to ship in December. Um, yeah. So yes. So basically, the similar, except you use your same computer. It's all in the transmitter.
Yeah,
So
it's a firmware update, by my understanding.
yes, yeah, it's a firmware update. So you just update what you already have. Plug this Swift GPS transmitter in, and basically the same thing as a Garmin. It'll show your descent. It'll show your ascent. It'll record it in your dive log data on Shearwater. Also, did find out too. Now, this question has been posed to me several times, especially from SSI divers, because you can download like from Mares into the SSI app. I was informed because I asked that question to Shearwater instead of asking it to SSI, but Shearwater told me that SSI has everything they need to be able to implement Shearwater computers into the SSI app, so you'd be able to download them. Now it's just a wait and see game, but with this GPS thing, I think it's pretty awesome. And not only that, you know that Shearwater is now making the jetpacks for Avelo.
Awesome.
So yes, I actually got to see one. It looks pretty awesome. Uh, the transmitter is built into the jetpack. So these jetpacks that Avelo uses, Avelo is going to quit making them. They're turning all the manufacturing over to Shearwater, which is an awesome thing because they have much better manufacturing capabilities. So that's going to only help the Avelo system. And with the new Swift transmitters with GPS coming out on them automatically. So, JoJo, you know that the transmitters use a CR2 battery, right?
Yes.
So, on the Avelo system, they use the battery power for Avelo. There's no battery to change. So, it's all interconnected with the Avelo power source, which is awesome because it gives it a whole lot more. You don't have to worry about changing a battery every time, or ever so often. That whenever you're doing a Velo, you put a new battery in, guess what? You got a fresh battery. That is another cool feature that I like.
So your computer's now going to have to be hardwired into your
No,
Halo system?
no,
No?
it's the Swift transmitter is built into the Avelo.
Transmitter.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've had battery silent transmitters. Like they say you don't use them, and when you do use them, you pop them open and well, the battery.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kevin says Garmin does the same thing. Last place before you went down, the first place when you come up. So yeah, so it's basically identical. The only difference is that it does by the transmitter, not the computer, but the information will show up on the computer with the firmware update. So
My question would be: can somebody else use that transmitter to find you?
so that is a very good question. And the way that I understand it, no. Because once you go below the surface, you lose contact with the satellites. So,
Correct. But
but
I'm
you,
saying if you were to surface and you were lost, somebody
oh,
find you from that GPS unit.
yes,
See? Now you've just saved
theoretically.
$200. Now you don't have to have a marine GPS attached to you.
Well,
And
I
those are
mean,
very common on the East Coast when you're doing 20 miles off the coast.
yeah,
Worried about the boat leaving you.
yes. So yeah. Just so you know, right now I just checked, and we were testing a theory tonight. So we are trying to dual stream. We are streaming to the Facebook group as well as YouTube here. Just because week before last we had issues with YouTube, and
Yeah.
uh, and so yeah, so we are dual streaming. Just we wanted a backup tonight, just in case, so we didn't have to waste time trying to set up another stream. But anyway, if anybody's wondering why we're broadcasting on both,
Hey,
uh,
I can look at both of them, so
oh,
I'm
I
happy
can
with
too. I'm
that.
sitting here.
I'm getting ready to set it up now. You said something. Sweet.
So yeah, there was even, and Emily will have to help me on this because I'm trying to. It was trim something. So it's actually a DPV that is mounted to your gear, and it's controlled with your legs. I didn't get a whole lot of information. They had a pretty cool booth set up. Uh, I'm trying to think. Tremasure. I don't remember the name of it. Um, that's one thing about DEMA. Whenever you go, each year you see something new and different. Um, that may or may not make it on the market. It's one of those things. It's a hit and miss. But it looked pretty cool. They had I don't even want to know what they spent on their booth. They had this like robotical diver that would move its legs and simulate what this thing was supposed to do. It was okay. I'm trying to grasp the concept of controlling a DPV with my legs. It's just yeah. Looks like Todd's in here. Good evening, sir. Hope everything's going well. Uh, there's so much stuff at DEMA. Of course, a lot of travel stuff. I got to run into some of our friends. Turquoise Bay. Ran into Darren and Jesus down there. Always run into
Oh,
them.
really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Always run into them at DEMA. Especially going to Roatan when we do. We've got about a month between the time we get back and DEMA. So if there's anything I forgot or couldn't get to bring home, I holler at Darren, hey, I know you're going to be at DEMA. I need this. Bring me some, whatnot. And so, yeah. But yeah, lots of cool toys. Meetings and stuff went well. Can't say anything bad. Other than the little thing we ran into with.
Did you get your fourth element sized up? I know that was a thing.
Yes. So not only did I get fourth element sized and customized to my suit, it has been submitted. So
Submitted. You didn't even get back. It's already getting to the factory.
Fingers crossed. I will be diving in an Argonaut, fourth element Argonaut dry suit in about 12 to 14 weeks. So, fingers crossed. I wasn't the only one. Emily got sized and all of that. Trying to think. Stephanie got it. Kevin says it doesn't transmit, just receives. Okay. Like I said, that was a question I didn't ask, so I couldn't really say yes or no. But yeah, that's a good thing to know. So it just receives; it doesn't transmit. So you probably would not.
In the next gen, that'll be a good idea for them.
And it might. This is the very first one they've done. Yeah, very first one that they've done. So, baby steps. I mean, global positioning is not what Shearwater's business model is. So this is something new that they're going into. Garmin definitely has the corner on that because that's what they do. So,
right.
Garmin does GPS, Shearwater does dive computers, so yeah. But yes, so I'm getting one. Emily just said she got the approval to order hers. I haven't heard from Stephanie, but I know she got size too. So there's going to be at least 2 more fourth element dry suits coming to the park. I'm looking forward. I've heard nothing but good things about fourth element dry suits. The big thing is I'm looking forward to being able to dive in the colder water.
Oh, you're going to actually get out of the water in the water for more than July.
Well, nice. When is the best time when is the, I ain't gonna say best, but when do I have more time to get in the water? December, January, February, March, and April, May-ish, but really May through October, I don't get a lot of time to get in the water.
Hey, I just got mine back in from the repair shop, so.
So JoJo has new zippers.
Yes.
So JoJo's ready to go test it out.
It's been since October since I've been in the water, so I'm a little dry.
So JoJo's ready to go test it out. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's what you're hearing. I'm ready to go. I hear there's a New Year's dive coming up here in a little bit.
There. Matter of fact, there is a New Year's dive coming up here in about what 40, really not even 40 days. Well, yeah, 40, 45 days. New Year's Day. Hey, what a wonderful way to bring in the new year than to jump in the water and enjoy a dive on New Year's Day.
Yeah, so it's on my bucket list to do that. Try out the new dry suit.
Well, they
Oh, hey,
say whatever you do on New Year's Day, you're more apt to do that throughout the rest of the year. So why not go diving?
oh yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, might as well. Don't just think warm Caribbean waters, you'll be fine. Don't take my word for it.
Anyway,
Oh,
before I interrupted with the new dry suit, all right, fill us in about Patty.
I haven't been asked about this. That's the 1% that and I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I really, I'm not. I'm disappointed in what they're doing. Yes. Do I understand why they're doing it? Yes, I do. Um, you know, it's not like we were hiding the fact that we teach SSI, we teach Patty. There was no denying. We had it up on the website. And being a resort, being a Patty resort facility, there should be a little bit more leeway, in my opinion, because you do more referral work than you do actual teaching. And so, it's a benefit for dive shops in our area. The patty shops that are around, if they can't have an open water student, complete with them scheduling conflicts or whatnot, they could always, do a referral, send them down. We could take care of them. Unfortunately, that was relayed that they were not going to renew our dive center status, but we could continue teaching Patty as independent instructors. And I'm sorry, but if you're taking that away from us, then I don't have any need to renew as an independent instructor. I've spent the last 4 years trying to get Patty to do crossover for us since COVID so that we could get more instructors. See, so before COVID, when we first brought Patty on board, there were four of us that went through. So we had four Patty instructors, at the park. Well, when COVID hit, of course, everybody knows, it hit Dad, it hit another one of our instructors, Rob. Um, they're not able to dive anymore. So automatically, right there, I'm down two. Well, with Dad's condition, after COVID on O2, he's not at the park managing, like he was beforehand. So that kind of left all the management and the administrative stuff for me. Well, now you just took a third instructor out because I don't get time to teach. So I'm literally down to one instructor that I can work with referrals and whatnot. And I've been on them since 20, actually, I think it's 2023. I've been on them trying to get something worked out so that we could get some crossovers, but it's like they don't want to work with us because every time I say something about it, oh, well, we don't have one, or let me work on that and, see what we can get done. And then it's crickets. So that showed me that they're not working with if you don't do 100% with them, then they could care less. And I hate to say that, but that's what they're projecting. I know tons of instructors with them, all great people. You know, the dive shops, they're great folks. It's not them. It's the higher ups, and I think, I mean, this is just my honest opinion. I think if they are cracking down like I've been told, then there's going to be a whole lot of market share that's going to end up with SDI, going to end up with SSI, going to end up with NOWI, you know, other agencies who's going to step in, SEI, all these other agencies are going to step in and say, hey, we'll pick you up. We'll do this. Trust me, I know. Our, we put out that public relations announcement on Thursday, and I got bombarded. I really really did. Uh, Direct messaging. I got a couple of emails, and it was really fun on the show floor Friday. So this was posted Thursday night. On the show floor Friday, I had people coming up I didn't even know, and or there was a couple that I knew, but people I didn't know that apparently had seen the post where we're not doing it anymore. And so, they're like, good for you. And, just like, hey, we support you 100%. As of last night, I mean, this is how fast this goes around. That was probably that just statement that Patty had made that decision, and we have made the decision not to keep, as independent instructors. Just letting our dive shop friends and in the industry know about it. That post blew up. That is probably the highest reaction post we have ever had. And it wasn't intended to be that way. It was just more or less, hey, listen, expect this. If you are a dual agency with Patty and another agency, be expecting this. Unfortunately, this is the way they are taking. So we are reacting and not going to be renewing our instructor. So we can't, we won't be able to offer these referrals. JoJo, I'm not even joking. I looked last night. That one post has already had over 60,000 views.
Wow.
And what all it was intended to be was just kind of a notice to let folks know this is what's going on. It happened to us. It can happen to you. Whatnot. Just be prepared because they started it last year in I believe it was Egypt. Egypt and Middle East, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, they started the trend last year. Apparently, it has now moved into the U.S. I've talked to a couple of other dive shops that do, do the same thing. They teach both, or teach 3 or 4, 5, whatever. And so, yeah, so apparently Patty's going through people's websites trying to find if they're dual teaching, or, multi agency, recognized, however you want to call it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's happening, and, it's unfortunate. I think it's divisive for the dive community. I understand it because there are dive centers out there that use it as a marketing tool to pull people in and then issue them, or take them through a different agency. I don't agree with that. The customer should have the choice. If they pay for a Patty course, if they pay for a NOWI course, SSI, whatever they pay for, that's what they get. So I just see it as, further dividing the dive industry versus uniting it, trying to improve the industry as a whole over profits is basically what I see.
Well, call me ignorant, but one of the first things you said was we could be an independent uh, trainer.
Yes,
I
PADI
know
instructors can be independent.
we've had a lot of discussions about things going wrong in scuba diving, and a lot of them tend to fall around this independent instructor kind of category. It seems like.
Well, that's one thing. If you go back a couple of years, and even though it wasn't an independent instructor, it was still a PADI dive center. with the Linnea Mills case, if I can get it out. Um, one of the big things that was brought up in there was the failure of oversight of members. So essentially, the family sued, the dive shop, the instructor, Patty. They just kind of brought the whole gambit in, and they brought Patty in for failure of oversight of members. Now, that lawsuit was settled. I don't know anything else other than it was settled. So, again, like you just said, I know a lot of great independent instructors. They don't cut corners, they teach what they're supposed to, they go above and beyond. But there are people, not in our area, but there are people that they sell C cards. That's, you bring them money, they'll take you in the water, they'll sign off on everything. Congratulations. That does happen, unfortunately, and you know, not as much as you think, but it does happen. I mean, you're reading all the time, in or as dive professionals, they're kicking people out of these organizations, for standards violation or whatnot. So it does happen. It's just not like on a regular routine basis, but it's when something happens, they investigate, and was your I's dotted, was your T's crossed? And a lot of the ones that I know, they do exactly that. They teach above and beyond what they're supposed to. But again, when you don't have that oversight, that quality control, then, like at a shop level, then, you basically can teach whatever you want to teach. Um, you know, Luckily, the ethics standards that most dive professional have won't let them do that. But there are a few shady operations that, unfortunately do. And, we're kind of seeing that now with that case in Texas. Now, it's a different agency, but everything that has come out so far on that, I mean, what does that tell you? That's a dive shop. So it's not just independence. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my 2 cents worth on it. It's like I said, it's unfortunate. Not mad about it. I understand their reasoning. Basically, I was told that people are using their marketing, the brand recognition, to bring people into the shops and then switching them, kind of the bait and switch, and switching it and selling them a certification at a cheaper cost. But my thought on this is, now I understand, they're in it for a profit. I get it. Years ago, Patty was a nonprofit years ago. If you go back and look at the history, years ago, Patty was in fact a nonprofit. They did turn for profit, and you know, and it doesn't help that they were sold in 2017 for, I think it was $700 million to an investment firm. So when you talk about investment firms, then they're looking at the money aspect of it, and it made me ask the question: are they just using it for a tax write off? I mean, you make enough people mad, they're gonna start bailing ship. Because of the competition out there in the training industry of scuba, your training agencies, there's a lot more that we don't know of than we do here in the U.S., like Europe, UK, Asia. There's training agencies over there I've never heard of. I mean, trust me, I seen a training agency, C card, a couple of years ago come through the park that was from Israel. I'd never heard of it. It wasn't one of the standards, so I actually had to go and do some research on it. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess anything else interesting at Dima?
Um, it was a lot of walking. Um,
Of
uh,
course.
yeah, a lot of walking. I think Emily clocked like almost what six between 6 and 7 miles a day of walking. So it's like we definitely got our steps in. There was no lack of not getting your steps in for sure. But again, there's so much stuff to see at DEMA. New improved stuff coming out. Um, Good news, we have new rental wetsuits that's coming to the rental line next season. We put in for 26 new wetsuits. So we will be phasing some of our older ones out, and then we've already got some of the new BCs and stuff in, and so we'll be phasing out some of our rental BCs as well. But you know, that brings us to the next one is Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. So what do we do every year? We do our annual pre-order for our season passes. Now, I've had a lot of questions on this. Yes, we are doing it again this year. Yes, we are still limiting. We have 20 available for Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. We'll have an additional 20 in January that goes on at the regular sale for it. Um, so yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff going on, and of course, JoJo, perfect opportunity to try out that dry suit is Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. Come in and go diving. I mean, it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. Uh, you know, come in, test out dry suit out.
Oh yeah.
That way,
Got something to read. Grassroots certified.
well, that way if it leaks or not before the New Year's dive when the water is going to be a little bit cooler.
Hey, I had it flood in the middle of winter.
Oh goodness. But no, I mean, overall, it was a long ride home. Um we left my last appointment. Now here's the funny thing. So, I'm doing my appointment schedule, here, Central Time Zone. So, I put all of my information and stuff in, and I actually showed up an hour early for my Shearwater appointment. I was thinking it was at 1, and apparently it was at 2. So, yeah, that was we didn't get to leave Orlando. I think we left. We were on the Florida Turnpike at 3:45 in the afternoon. We drove straight through, straight back.
Oh wow! You
Yeah,
get
I
home
got
at 3 a.m.,
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Well, you got to think we stopped at Bubba Jack's and had dinner. Of course, bathroom breaks along the way, but
Oh, you
had to.
got a bucket somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, had to drop Emily off at home. It was yeah. So 3:45, I made it back home just a little after 4. So it was a long trip. I had originally planned on splitting it up, but the original plan was Stephanie and Emily were going to stay down there and go do Devil's Den and a couple other dive sites down there. And anyway, that got pushed to the side because of Stephanie had some family issues that she had to get back for. And so they was like, well, I'm driving back. So we just decided to caravan. And, probably the funniest thing was the last fuel stop that we made, which was in between Chattanooga and Nashville. and it told us, hey, there's a gas station like a half a mile away. Told us to get off on the exit. There's nothing at this exit. I mean, it's like dark country road. Like, okay, it's telling us to turn left, so we turn left. We go maybe a quarter of a mile, and you see this little faint glow of a gas station light up on a hill. Well, we pull up there, and this is the canopy lights were off, the gas pumps were lit up, the little store actually had like roll up doors over the windows and the main door, so it's like everything's locked up, and it's like, okay, this is not sketchy at all. We got gas, we got fueled up and got back, but yeah. Very, if you've never been on a road trip with me, it's always something interesting. Something interesting happens somewhere along the way. You just have to wait and see what it is.
Yeah. Well, you felt that earthquake when we went to Georgia, so
Oh
yeah.
goodness, yeah, it's always something. It is. It's something. And I had several people ask me, "Hey, well, why didn't you fly?" It's like I got stuck in Roatan an extra night that I hadn't planned on. Our vehicle got broke into in Nashville, so I figured if I'm getting stuck anywhere, it's on the side of the road, and I can call AAA.
Oh yeah, that would have
uh,
been not a good time to be traveling with all the shutdowns and stuff. Oh man.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was just easier. As well, we were able to bring stuff back. Like I was able to bring more stuff back and not have to worry about weight checking and all that stuff. I mean, it was a long drive, but I mean, it's not hard. I mean, literally, from Nashville to Orlando is basically three roads: I-24, I-75, and the Florida Turnpike. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
You also did something else while you're down
all right. What did I do?
there. You just paid for the police active.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
The
was like,
Belize is official for 2027.
yeah. So yeah, that, yes. But anyway, yes. So, sorry, I was not. I done so much stuff at DEMA, I can't remember it all.
It's a
Uh,
busy week. I know. I've been there.
it really is. That's basically when everybody's setting their trips up. They're ordering new stuff for next season, which that's kind of one thing that we don't have to worry about is, I don't have to worry about ordering a bunch of BCs and regulators, because we're a destination. We're not a dive shop. And so, we do still have to, keep the rental inventory and all that. But, you know, we take trips. We don't do as many, but we do still do like a spring and a fall. But Belize Aggressor 2027 is officially set. It is not up on the website yet. I was too busy working on other things on the website the other night, and I have not gotten to that yet, but I will. All that information, especially about Roatan, Belize, and then of course we've got Bonaire coming up. I think
On Air's up there too, and
the
that window's closing very
it
shortly.
is.
So,
Yes, it is. Bonaire will close. I think it's the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken, because we have to have everything in 60 days prior to travel. So yeah, that one's coming up close. Roatan 2026, 2 weeks available, and then Belize 2027. So yeah, lot of stuff going on before and after the season, starts and ends. So, what else did I do, JoJo, that I'm not thinking of?
oh, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there.
I just remember the phone call. Hey, Belize is booked. I'm like, yes. Too bad I'm working right actually.
Oh,
I'm
Georgia Aquarium.
Oh, Georgia Aquarium.
Georgia Aquarium is booked. September the 12th, I believe it is. Saturday, September the 12th. 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. The prices did go up. Just so everybody knows, the aquarium, yeah, I was like, ooh, okay. So we'll see how that one goes. But yes, they did go up. Of course, what's not going up?
My Bible ready.
Might have more great folks joining in for Women's Dive Day 2026. Yes, we're still working on that one. Not releasing a whole lot of information about it at this point in time, but yes, hopefully we'll have some more people coming in sponsor. I say sponsoring, but at least being there. Hopefully they sponsor. And making Women's Dive Day even better for 2026.
Another whole season to get ready for.
Tell me about it. Off season just is not going to be long enough to get everything done.
There is.
Oh goodness. So, but
Well, that's a
yeah,
good off season for all the bass, though, to eat more bluegill.
yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully there's plenty of them to eat. Hopefully they're not nibbling on divers next season. Let's see. Emily says, "Save the Sharks organization hopefully comes," which they were in charge of working on Women's Dive Day sponsors, so they talked to a bunch of people. Emily gave out tons of stickers, so hopefully Women's Dive Day will be even bigger next year. So we're already talking logistics. So all right, JoJo. Well, it is about 10 minutes till 9. Lots of stuff going on. Again, we've got Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. We will be open at the park from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Of course, the season pass pre-sale will go until all 20 are sold on Friday or Saturday, however long they last. We've got some other stuff that we're gonna have, but we'll put that out here in a bit. New Year's Day, my favorite because come in, check in. You don't have to pay admission. It is kind of like come and dive, enjoy the day. We don't charge you to come in. If you need air fills for the second dive, okay. But, come in, make one dive. Hey, come in, enjoy it. It's on us. So, it is a wonderful day to come in and you don't have a big crowd. And bring your dry suit.
Bring your dress.
Of course, as always with winter diving, we'll have the warming container with coffee and cocoa, all that stuff ready for you. So yeah, fun time.
Mhm.
What about you, JoJo? How was your week?
Oh, do we want to get into that and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
stressful my
All
job
right.
can
All
be
right. Hold on.
sometimes?
Hold on. So, did it include diving?
No,
Okay.
we
Well,
don't want
then,
to talk about my week.
yeah. No. If it wasn't about diving, then yeah, we better not talk about it.
Yeah, you're gonna make me depressed if I got to talk about work. No, I mean, for this winter, I'm excited because even though Patty's kind of waved us to the corner, SSI is doing a lot of good things. And one of the things I'm actually looking forward to is the Explorer program for the kids. So I've been kind of dipping my toes into that while you all were in DEMA.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. it's the youth program that we're getting ready to start. It gives kids, that aren't quite old enough. I think, what is it, 8?
8. Yes, 8. Or is for the diving program. Now it goes a little bit. I think you go to 6 if you want to do like the snorkeling program. But
Snorkeling,
8
yeah.
is diving.
So yeah, I'm super stoked to get that program started because there's a lot of kiddos out there that want to learn more about scuba diving, and they see the wonders of the underwater world on TV and cartoons and stuff. So I mean, in a pool setting, of course we can still do tri scubas in a pool setting at 8. So it gives them an opportunity to have something fun, and the program goes until they're old enough. They can actually get certified, so they can keep
Yeah, I mean,
participating.
really, it's a fun way of doing the Discover Scuba. They introduced snorkeling and they introduced the scuba faculty thing,
Yeah.
and then you believe it or not, you can even introduce DPVs, and they can race around the pool with DPVs.
Oh, well, now, hey, you got this
um,
scooter 500.
yeah, they have a section where you can do where the kids learn about nitrox and navigation. So they have a lot of cool little stuff built into the program. I think will be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And it gets them in the water, gets them used to scuba, so that when they turn 10 or 11 or 12, whenever mom and dad says, "Hey, okay, you can get certified," they've got a wealth of knowledge behind them already. They already know what to expect.
I already know what to expect. So yeah, when it's time to take that plunge, they're more comfortable and confident in what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
So I am looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Of course, being able to do a couple of open water classes throughout the wintertime, getting ready for spring. So hopefully we'll have dates and stuff for those that want to go through that here. I was hoping before I went to DEMA, but I'm still here waiting. So, uh,
Hey, I mean, if y'all are game, I'll get something together and we'll all stay at Vortex in one of their cabins. We can
oh
all
yeah.
enjoy a good weekend at
Oh,
Vortex.
February, March. Oh yeah. You know, well, March maybe not so much because of Bonaire, but
We could
you,
easily do mid February.
oh yeah, you got to be able to check your gear out before you go to Bonaire. So
Yeah.
definitely February ish. Hopefully we pick a weekend that it's not 45 degrees outside at Vortex, or in
Not
Florida.
guaranteed. It still gets cold in Florida as much as we like to not think it does.
Yeah, but the water's still like right at 70 degrees. So
Mhm.
even if it's cold outside, the water is a perfect temperature for a 5 mil.
I got a nice hot showers there, so
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
helps.
most definitely. All right, JoJo, it is 5 till. Do you have any final thoughts for us for this evening?
Just glad y'all got back from Dema. Glad y'all had a good time. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting into winter, and so we get back into diving season. To tell you the truth,
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm already getting dried out here. Let's get back.
well, there's going to be plenty of times to get things ready here. We've got a lot of work to do to get things ready for next season, and make 2026 an even better season than 2025. We keep trying to improve year after year, and the hard work, the dedication, everything shows. All the reviews and stuff that we hear, we get. Thank you. We do hear them. I know there's a lot of them that we don't get a chance to answer, but if you do leave a review or whatnot, it's not that we ignore them, because we don't. We take them, and whatever we can improve on, we improve on. Whatever we're doing good at, we try to do better. So it's always a work in progress.
eventually I want to put a game section down there where you can play chess or Connect Four. So
Oh
that
yeah.
would be, I think, an awesome park addition to the park.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Most
Can you imagine
definitely.
having a large yard-sized chest down there you get to play as you're diving?
Buoyancy control.
Buoyancy control, a big checkers board, you can move the pieces around.
Yep. Most definitely. All right, JoJo. Well, I think that just about does it for this episode of Monday Night Safety Stop. I think we have concluded DEMA was a success for 2025, and now we look forward to the 2026 season. And at the end of 2026, we have DEMA New Orleans coming up. So, super stoked and excited about getting ready to go back to New Orleans in November of next year. So, yeah, we will we'll work through the winter, get through the season, and be at Demi again. Dema, not Demi. All right. Well, if you are traveling or diving this weekend, we hope you have a fun, safe, and adventurous diving experience. We're not going to be there. We are taking a little bit of time off, but, or I say that. Reservations are still available. You can make them on the website. As of right now, there are no reservations for this weekend. So, we'll just have to play it by ear. That could change. But anyway, we'll be back on next Monday night right here on the Penny Royal Divers Group Facebook page and YouTube, since we know it now works. Well, it was a kicker because, and I found out, just so everybody knows, I did find out why it wasn't working 2 weeks ago.
You know that DTD moment? Chris had one.
No, the computer actually had one because it changed the
Yeah.
YouTube to private instead of public. And yeah, I didn't realize that until after the fact. And it's like, oh, scroll down, change it. Okay. So that's the reason we're broadcasting on both tonight, is because we didn't know if that was the problem or whatnot. And we didn't want to have to, start it, not work, restart, not work, and move. So anyway, always a pleasure, always fun talking scuba with you guys here on Monday nights. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting us. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We really would appreciate it. It helps our channel grow, and we can keep talking all things scuba. So until next Monday night, can't wait to see you right here on Monday Night Safety Stop.